Brock Lesnar. Yes, Brock Lesnar is back in play as an active member of the WWE roster. He was taken off the board for a little bit because of, well, I don't know, real life, real world things. I don't know, accusations. I don't want to get into it. But the fact of the matter is, right now, he's on WWE.com as an active member. So he can show up tomorrow on Raw or on Friday, SmackDown, and have a match with anyone. So we're going to have to book 10 dream opponents for Brock Lesnar, and let's get started. First one is going to be Bronson Reed. Holy crap, this guy came out of nowhere, and that's saying something because he's been on the roster now for a minute, but suddenly, out of nowhere, he became a big freaking deal. Bronson Reed has made a name for himself in such a short time frame. This guy was kind of like a mid-carder, upper mid-carder, and then suddenly one day he said, you know what? I'm going to take out Seth freaking Rollins with a bunch of tsunamis. Then I'm going to take out The Miz. Then I'm going to take out R-Truth. Then I'm going to take out Braun Strowman. Those two went at it. Bronson Reed threw a fan. He threw a fan at Braun Strowman. They went through walls. They broke the ring. Braun Strowman was on a car and he jumped on him. The level of destruction was so awesome. That's what I want to see in a meaty man monster match, and that's what I want to see with Brock Lesnar. Those two will destroy any arena they are in, and I am salivating at that prospect. Let's put Bronson Reed versus Brock Lesnar and let them just go to town and tear the house down. And speaking of going to town, Brock Lesnar has a city called Suplex City that he is the mayor of. And the first citizen of Suplex City was John Cena. And John Cena, I feel, deserves a little bit of revenge. All the way back in 2014, the flashback with me, people, flashback with me, John Cena totally 100% got squashed by Brock Lesnar. This was the era of Super Cena. We all thought that Cena was just gonna like bounce back, F5 the Beast, and boom, 1, 2, 3, but no. Suplex after suplex after suplex. Oh my god, that was a lot of suplexes, and more suplexes, and more suplexes. Brock Lesnar suplexed the crap out of John Cena, and we were all just left dumbfounded. This was like a 12 or 13 minute match of just suplexes and John Cena having no offense, and then he pins him. We were all like, what? How did John Cena lose? It was so obvious that he was going to lose that nobody expected it. And then John Cena just straight up loses to 103 suplexes. It was crazy. One of the big four PLEs, and we just left. We just turned off our TV and we're like, oh, I guess John Cena lost. Brock Lesnar murdered him, and he was the first citizen of Suplex City, so I think John Cena needs to come back and just get a wee little bit of revenge for that squash match that Brock Lesnar put him through, because I'll tell you what, that was a big, big deal, because that is really what I think set the tone for who Brock Lesnar became. The year or two before this match, Brock Lesnar was kind of like, the WWE didn't know how to use him as the monster that we know him as today. But when he squashed John Cena, whew, he became final boss Brock Lesnar. Not like The Rock's final boss. This guy was like a monster. He was the end game for every WWE star. They had to beat him if they wanted to, I don't know, cement their legacy. So I want to see John Cena get just a little bit of vengeance on Brock Lesnar. And while this is a dream match Brock Lesnar list, I too have a dream, and that is to become a full-time YouTuber. And to do so, I'm going to give away this belt right here, or the belts behind me. All you got to do, comment below. Once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to give the belt away. Free shipping, free everything. Please subscribe, comment, and hit the notification button also, because the more you guys watch the videos, it shows the YouTube algorithm, the almighty algorithm, that these videos are worth watching, and they will push them to other wrestling viewers out there, and then we'll just grow and grow and grow. I'll hit 10,000 subscribers. You will get the belt, and yeah, then I'll do another contest. So the next victim on the list is Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker is something else. Wow, for being so young, this guy has it all. In my opinion, he might be better than his dad and his uncle, Big Papa Pump. Oh, wow. Bron Breakker is so freaking good, and it would be amazing, and it would be a built-in story. We just have Bron Breakker as, you know, a young, hungry lion thinking that in order to get ahead of everybody else that he has to go against the biggest, baddest dude from the old guard. So Brock Lesnar, he's going to come out, he's going to surprise everybody, he's going to have one feud, right? And then after he fights somebody on this list, and he wins, he defeats them, then Bron Breakker comes out and spears him, and Bron Breakker just spears and spears and spears him until Brock Lesnar accepts the challenge from the hungry young Bron Breakker looking to prove himself. And Bron Breakker will. Let me tell you, Bron Breakker will. But I think it'll be one of those situations where at the end, Brock Lesnar will shake his hand just like he did Cody, giving him the stamp of approval that, hey, Bron, you're the next me. Gunther. Let's go Gunther next. Gunther has said, I want Brock Lesnar in my dream match. This was supposed to happen last year's WrestleMania, and unfortunately it did not because of the real life stuff that I was talking about earlier. But now we can just do it for this WrestleMania. World title or not, these two going at it would be crazy. The suplexes and the chops alone, it would be felt for miles and miles. I want to see these two face to face, nose to nose, suplex and chops, just going crazy and ham on each other. I want this to be a very stiff match, and I just want to see it. Book it. Come on, guys. We gotta book this match. This will go down in history as the biggest missed opportunity if these two do not fight each other. So make it happen. Goldberg, I want to see one more time. Goldberg has 2 matches left on his career. One of those matches are probably going to Gunther, so let the final match be for Brock Lesnar, and let Brock Lesnar totally murder Goldberg. Put the final nail in the coffin. Never see again. Bye-bye, Goldberg. I want Brock Lesnar to destroy him. And I don't even want an attempt at a jackhammer. Hey, Goldberg is in better shape than myself, so I'm not one to talk, but I'm going to talk regardless. Hey, he's 57. He can't be doing those moves anymore. It is time to retire the jackhammer and retire Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar is going to be the one to do it, because in this farewell tour, Brock Lesnar is going to lose a bunch of times, but he has to have a couple victories too, so let Goldberg be one of those victories. Please do not let Goldberg pin him. The next entry can either be Dominic Mysterio or Logan Paul. I don't care which one you do, either or, because they're going to play the same role in this feud. Because you're like, whoa, Brock Lesnar would murder those two. It wouldn't even be a match, and that's the point. And it's going to be awesome because we have these two chicken heels going against this face evil Brock Lesnar, and Brock would destroy them, but they're going to figure out a way to come out on top. Whether it's Dominic Mysterio or Logan Paul, it can be either or. The plus to Logan Paul is he can promote it more on social media. The plus to Dominic Mysterio is this was a match that they were kind of building to last year. It looked like Dominic was going to kind of push Brock Lesnar over the top rope at the Royal Rumble. It was going to be a fluke and everything, but that was going to cause Brock to go insane and want to fight Dominic Mysterio, who, because those two, they should never fight. But Brock was going to go after Dom, and they were going to have a match in Australia. But again, real world stuff took Brock off the table last year. So now we can just do that again. Same spot, same everything in the Royal Rumble. It can be Dominic Mysterio, and it would be so hilarious to see Dominic against Brock Lesnar and just running around the ring doing all these things. And if WWE was brave enough, they would let Dominic win somehow. I don't care how he wins, but he wins. And then his gimmick after winning can be, I beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. And you're like, wait, what? Because Brock beat Undertaker. Dominic then comes to the conclusion, well, if Brock beat Undertaker, but I beat Brock, that means I, in turn, beat Undertaker, and he starts claiming that as his victory, and that would be so funny. And again, you could put Logan Paul in instead of Dominic Mysterio. It'll be funnier with Dominic, but you'll get more press with Logan Paul, because could you imagine the news outlets saying former UFC fighter champion Brock Lesnar fighting YouTube sensation Logan Paul? I mean, that's money right there, but either one will work. You figure out which one you want to do and just do it. Just make one of those guys fighting Brock. Drew McIntyre is up next. Kind of like John Cena, I want Drew McIntyre to have a moment, a little measure of revenge. Now, the last time these guys fought, Drew McIntyre won. It was the WrestleMania that happened in 2020. Yeah, the year we would all like to forget but can't, because we all ran out of toilet paper and everybody was stashing it. Why were you stashing toilet paper? I'm still not over that, people. Do not ever take my toilet paper away again. Anyways, Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar in an empty arena. That sucked. That was when Drew McIntyre took out Brock at the Royal Rumble. It was such a moment. It was such a moment. It totally transformed Drew McIntyre into that upper mid-card guy to a main event player. And then he had to go to WrestleMania and do it in a warehouse. That just sucked. That just absolutely sucked. And I just feel that with everything that Drew has accomplished since then, how he has elevated his game and WWE as a whole, he deserves it. Let's have a Claymore kick to Brock Lesnar in front of 80,000 people. I don't care if it's SummerSlam, WrestleMania, just make it in front of 80,000 people and let Drew have his moment beating Brock Lesnar. Up next is Oba Femi. I talked about Oba Femi on the last Dream Match video, and this was the Dream Match, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, and so was Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, but I can't have a versus Brock Lesnar Dream Match list without repeating those two. And again, who is Oba Femi? He is the next big thing, and that's what they should just bill him as. Have him come to the main roster as the next big thing, and then the last big thing can get offended by that nickname. And who was the last big thing? Brock Lesnar. So now we have Brock coming up to Oba, and he's saying, hey man, you think you're the next big thing? Well, you're going to have to go through me to prove it. And guess what? Oba's going to do it, because Oba is awesome. Oba is amazing. Oba is everything, people. I know I keep shouting to you how good this Oba Femi is, and you guys haven't seen it yet because he's not on the main roster, but you will. You will, and you will come back here and be like, yeah, Ken, you were right. Oba is awesome, and I want Oba to fight Brock, and I want Oba to win. LA Knight, yeah, versus Brock Lesnar. Now, this one, you're like, that's kind of a weird pairing. It is kind of a weird pairing, but you know what also was a weird pairing? Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar. I remember that match thinking, oh God, he's going to murder Eddie Guerrero. He is going to pick his teeth with the bones of Eddie Guerrero, and yet that was a moment. That was awesome. And Eddie Guerrero lied, cheated, stole his way to victory. And yeah, you know, there were shenanigans, but I don't care. At the end of the day, that upset was just, it was amazing. It was awesome. It was such a feel-good moment, and it put Eddie Guerrero in the main event, and he stayed there, and I'm so glad he got that. And I think we could do something like that with LA Knight. LA Knight wouldn't be as big of an underdog as Eddie Guerrero, but he still would be a pretty big underdog. It's the same kind of feel to me. Both huge crowd favorites, both great on the mic, both able to go in the ring. Yeah, Guerrero is way better than LA Knight, but who cares? We didn't really care about Eddie Guerrero's his in-ring ability. We cared about that Latin heat. And LA Knight, he's pretty much, I don't know, he has that same machismo, that same charisma. And I think those two going at it, and somehow, some way, Brock Lesnar loses to LA Knight. It can be shenanigans. Again, I don't care. What I do care about is that it gives LA Knight that huge victory that he might need to finally put the naysayers to bed when they say, nah, he's just a catchphrase. he is more than a catchphrase because he just beat Brock Lesnar, and he is a main event superstar. Honorable mention, Kofi Kingston. I'm not really putting him on the list. It's just an honorable mention because I hate the way that he was completely squashed in 7 seconds on the premiere episode of SmackDown. So disrespectful to Kofi. I would love, if I knew they were going to let Kofi win, I would say give him his rematch, but I don't think they would, so I'm not actually putting him on the list because I don't want him to lose again. Just stay away from Brock. You've done enough damage to Kofi, Brock. Ugh, that match disgusted me. But if I could, I'd have Kofi win just for revenge, but I just know that in no world in the multiverse WWE is going to do that, so I'll just suck it up and continue on with my list. And our final dream match is Jacob Fatu. You might be thinking, why isn't it Roman Reigns? Those guys fought enough. Seth Rollins and him, they fought enough. I want Jacob Fatu to come, and I want Jacob Fatu to just show himself as the dominant force of nature that he is. The Samoan werewolf is the future, and I think just a very dominant performance against Brock Lesnar. This might be Brock's last match in the WWE, and I want Jacob Fatu to go crazy and just do it, man. I want the flips that only Jacob could do. I want the facial expressions that only Jacob could do. I want Jacob to just annihilate Brock Lesnar because Jacob Fatu is the future. Now, pay Brock a lot of money because Brock knows business, but yeah, I want Jacob to just prove himself to be the beast that he is. Remember that first night he came on SmackDown and he demolished Cody, Randy, Kevin? Yeah, I want that Jacob Fatu going up against Brock Lesnar, and we have no doubts when it's said and done that this was no fluke, that Jacob Fatu was the man, and he was the winner and the conqueror of the beast, and that would just be amazing. Jacob Fatu. I didn't even know I wanted Jacob Fatu to fight Brock Lesnar until the last dream match list I did. People started saying Jacob versus Brock, and I was like, holy crap, how did I miss that? Well, not this time, because that is my most wanted match right now. Jacob versus Brock. Please, 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 let it happen. Did I miss anybody that you want on this list? Ilya Dragunov would have been a good one, too. He almost made it. Not quite, though, because I want the other ones just a little bit more. But then again, who knows? When Ilya comes back from injury, depending on what they do with his character, maybe I would want that match because that would be a good one. Ilya Dragunov is very, very intense, but regardless, that's my list. Let me know what your list is, and if I missed anybody, please add it in the comment section below. You guys, you girls, have a great day.